Good day, creative geniuses. Welcome. Welcome to my Wednesday Wisdom Window. I'm Suzanne Grace, CEO of Grace Inspire Sanctuary, where we come together once a week to take a breath. I know I always do that. Sighing is good. Come together to just have some food for thought about this thing called life. I love sharing inspiration that I've had and how it can really support us in staying centered with all that's going on in the world. Lots of distractions. And today I want to share a little story from my favorite, Mark Nepo, who talks about being awake. And he starts by saying how easily we get caught up in defining who we are in relation to those around us. He said, I remember walking home from school in the 4th grade when I noticed Roy, a classmate I really didn't like. He was walking at the same pace as me on the other side of the street. Until I noticed Roy, I was lost in the joy of walking home, free of school. But once seeing Roy, I began without a word to walk faster, to try to outwalk him. He, of course, sensed this immediately and began picking up his gait. As he strode ahead of me, I felt lacking, so I stepped up my gait. Before I knew it, we were both racing to the corner, and I felt that if I didn't get there first, I would be a terrible failure. Oh, yeah. Mark says, I've lived long enough in this world to know by now that this is how our ambitions evolve. We first find ourselves alone in the joy of what we're doing, but somehow there are suddenly others along the way. And we lapse into the breathless race of comparison and competition. Oh, yeah. And then we are hopelessly running to avoid being termed a failure. Oh, I can so relate to that. You know, even now, but in the past when I taught workshops, yoga workshops or any kind of workshop, and I only had a few people, I would think I was a failure. I was disappointed so much. Like, why aren't more people here? Where is everybody? What am I doing? And yet I was touching a few people. I wasn't a failure. He says, from here, we often latch, when we think we're a failure, latch onto the nearest goal as a purpose. And if we can't find one nearby, we're thought to be adrift. But our lasting sense of purpose is in our breathing, in our beingness. Yeah. So underneath all our worries about our careers and our jobs and our retirements, our purpose really comes down to living fully, to being all right with who we are, beneath all the names and the titles that we're given or we aspire to just be who you are. Yeah. So there's a story of the Buddha. He says, imagine the Buddha in his moment of enlightenment, being lighted from within. I doubt if he knew he was aglow. In fact, when Buddha rose from the Bodhi tree, it is said that a monk approached him in an utter amazement at his luminosity. And he asked him, "O Holy One, what are you? You must be a god." Buddha, not thinking of himself as anything but present, answered, "No, not a god," and kept walking. But the dazzled monk persisted. "Then you must be a deva." And Buddha stopped and said, "No, I'm not a deva," and kept walking. Still the monk pursued him. "Then you must be Brahma himself." At this, the Buddha simply uttered, "No." The monk, confused, implored him, "Then what are you? Please, tell me, please, what are you?" Buddha could not repress his joy, and he replied, "I am awake. I am awake." Can it be that our purpose, no matter whom we run into, no matter what we are told, is simply to be awake? How beautiful is that story? I don't know if you struggle with who you are, what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to look. So he gives us a little process that I'm going to lead us through after we do our breath. That really opens us up to this possibility of being something more than we think we are. So let's cross our arms in our serenity hold, and we're going to take our hands under our armpits, actually, and our thumbs on the beginning of the heart meridian, the lung meridian, and our hands representing underneath for the heart meridian. And as we feel our feet on Mother Earth, I invite you to just drop from your thinking mind into your feeling heart for a few breaths together. We're going to imagine that we're breathing from the center of the chest into the heart and out of the heart. And I will tone the love tuner with the vibration of harmony and love. So let us begin. Take a deep inhale from the belly up through the heart, and slowly exhale. Inhale, and slow exhalation. One more breath. And exhale. You can relax. You can relax your hands on your lap and just keeping that inward focus. Sit quiet. And contemplate for a moment on the things that have come to define you. Feel what you do with your day and say to yourself, I am more than my job or my career. Feel where you sleep at night and say, I am more than where I live. Feel those you love and say, I am more than my relationships. Feel all that you have suffered and say, I am more than my history. Feel your very name and say, I am more than my name. And feel your breath enter and leave your heart. And say without history or name, I am the flame of life living in this body. I am awake. I am awake. And so we take a deeper breath and simply bless our beautiful life. Bless the challenges. Bless the opportunities. Bless the joys and the sorrows. I am awake. We bless our body. We bless our mind. We bless our spirit. We bless our soul. I am awake. And we breathe. And we allow. And so taking that deeper cleansing breath, we return in gratitude to this present moment. We open our eyes slowly, returning back to now. An interesting journey we have, isn't it? This thing called life. Let's tap our thymus. Tap our third eye lightly, opening to our inner guidance today. Waking up to the possibility of something greater. Tapping the top of our head to unlimited potential of who we are. We maybe have no idea of our power. Wow. And we bring our palms together and briskly rub, and then clasp our hands, take a nice big stretch. Oh, and as we open, wiggle our fingers, come back to earth with such gratitude and joy. I am alive, awake, and aware. Beautiful. Thank you again for joining me for just a little time together to explore. And if you look at this Facebook page, you can scroll down and re-listen to any of the Wednesday wisdom windows that I have. They're there for you. What I like to do sometimes is just then sit in quiet meditation after I've read them or done them. So you can add it to your meditation repertoire. Leave a comment, let me know you're here, and remember to go to my website, www.graceinspire.com, for free resources. And let me know if you'd like a complimentary phone call to support you in this thing called life. And this Sunday, I will be speaking at our spiritual center, and I will leave the link for that on this page. So thank you. Have a beautiful rest of this May day. Be well, be safe, and remember to not only love one another, but love you. Love yourself. Stay awake. Namaste.